Week 1 of the T20 World Cup started with drama, near upsets, and associate nations almost flipping the script.
By the end of the week, the big teams did manage to live up to their reputation, but we also have one of our first upset of this tournament.
A repeat of the 2007 T20 World Cup, where Zimbabwe beat Australia, and it was the same again this time. And we'll talk about that more later on.
Welcome back to Glitch Lab, cricket from an unbiased lens.
Today, we're wrapping up week 1 of the 2026 T20 World Cup.
Just a small heads up. Most of the teams have played 2 matches each, and we are already halfway through the group stage.
For now, let's focus on what week 1 has already delivered.
As expected, the traditional heavyweights of this format, India, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, even West Indies, every one of them are in quite good position in the points table. The scorecard or points table don't tell the full story.
For South Africa, it was a breeze past Canada in their first match, but the second match was a completely different story, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. New Zealand, though, as we chatted in our India versus New Zealand post-series video, they have turned up the heat now. They are showing their true colors, and their big guns are now blazing. Finn Allen and Tim Seifert have been in very good. As of the moment of recording, Tim Seifert is currently the leading run scorer in the tournament. The Kiwis have won both matches they have played so far pretty comfortably and will look to carry on the same momentum. Coming to the West Indies now, and this was kind of a surprise, I guess. A lot of us expected West Indies to be quite weaker coming into this tournament. We put them in our Dark Horses video, and they have certainly performed up to the mark as of now, winning both their matches quite comfortably against the underprepared Scottish, but a very convincing victory at the Wankhede against England. We made a short about that. You can check that out in the top right hand corner of the screen.
It may seem like everything went according to the script, big guns winning, but there were surely some plot twists.
Almost some plot twists, to be specific. This wasn't exactly a very comfortable week for the giants of the game. Almost every single associate nation they played against pushed them to their very limits. Take the India versus USA game, for example. India at one point were reeling at 77 for 6 and were looking at a fairly modest total if it had not been for their captain Surya Kumar Yadav. Shadley Van Schalkwyk, on the other hand, has been exceptional for the United States. The United States might have lost both those games, but they have performed really well.
And the very first game of the tournament, Netherlands and Pakistan at one point were cruising towards an easy victory. They were like 98 or 99 for the loss of 2 wickets in like 12 odd overs, but suddenly they were reduced to 117 for 7 in the next three and a half overs. It was the brilliance of Fahim Ashraf which took them over the line.
Which has helped his market value soar in the recent Pakistan League auctions.
And what about the Nepal versus England game? It was supposed to be a cakewalk for England, but T20 cricket had some other plan.
Even a total of 184 at one point looked a little short for the English. If it had not been for those 3 sixes by Will Jacks towards the end of the innings, the story might have been different. Lokesh Baum and Dipendra Airi stepped up big time for the Nepalese, and they almost pulled it off. That's the difference between the top teams and the challengers, the key moments, which brings us to the next section in the video, pressure points and key moments.
Cricket is a game of small margin, and especially the T20 format. Drop catch, one bad over, one miscalculation can change the entire scenario of the game. Take for example Fahim Ashraf against Netherlands. It was in the second last over. Max O'Dowd dropped his catch and he ended up scoring 24 or 25 of that over. Pakistan needed like 29 to win from the last two and 24 came off that over.
Max O'Dowd even made a vlog about the match. It's on his YouTube channel right now. You can check it out on YouTube. Similarly, hosts India also had a reprieve when captain Surya Kumar Yadav was dropped against the USA at 50 by Shubham Ranjane. It was a cotton bold moment that could have turned the game on its head.
Yes, if you look at the score, India won by like 29 runs, and after that drop catch, Surya added 34-35 runs to India's total. That dropped catch did save India from an embarrassing situation.
It just goes to show the associates are good enough to compete, but they're just not consistent enough yet in those pressure situations. As mentioned in the intro, Australia are our victims of the first big upset of this T20 World Cup. Although they had a pretty convincing victory in their first match of the tournament, they succumbed to defeat against the same opposition who beat them in the 2007 World Cup as an associate nation at that point. Zimbabwe put on a convincing 169 on the board at the loss of just 2 wickets, a very convincing batting display, especially from Brian Bennett, wicketkeeper Marumani, and captain Sikandar Raza. Australia got off to a nightmare start in reply, and they were 29 for the loss of 4 wickets at one point. From there on out, it was Glenn Maxwell and Matthew Renshaw who pulled them out of that deep hole, but they couldn't hold on in the end as some stellar fielding display from the Zimbabwean fielders put a chokehold on the Aussies, and they eventually fell at 146 all out in the 20th over. Zimbabwe won the match by 23 runs and have surely put their hats in contention for the Super 8s now. In our match of the week,
Yes, the double super over drama for the first time in T20 World Cup.
winning the toss, the Afghans put South Africa on to bat first, and South Africa posted a quite healthy total of 187 on the board, thanks to Quinton de Kock and Ryan Rickelton. In reply, it was the Ramanullah Gurbaz show, with very little support coming from a lot of the other players, and at one point it looked like it was just not going to be enough.
The drama spiked in the match from Noor Ahmed's entry at the crease. Marco Jansen just removed Rashid Khan, and it seemed like all hope for Afghan were gone. But the first ball Noor Ahmed faced, he hit it for a 6. Coincidentally, it was 18.4, the famous 18.4. Kagiso Rabada was bowling and Noor Ahmed was in strike, and Afghanistan needed 13 of the last over.
Rabada, of the first ball of the over, got a top edge of Noor Ahmed and he was caught out, but the sirens went off and it was a no ball, and he survived.
In the very next ball, Noor Ahmed tried to take a double to win it for Afghanistan, but brain-fed moment for Fazal Faruqi. He didn't drag the bat into the crease, nor did he dive. He just tried to put the bat on the other side of the crease, which resulted in the run-out and the super over for the first time in this year's T20 World Cup.
In the second super over, it was South Africa batting first, and they sent in Tristan Stubbs and David Miller. Amongst them, they smashed 3 sixes and put on a formidable 23 on the board. It looked hopeless for the Afghans when Mohammad Nabi got caught out, but Gurbaz walked in with all his swagger from the first innings and smacked 3 back-to-back sixes of Keshav Maharaj. 1 ball and 1 six was all that was remaining between the Afghans and victory. A wide delivery from Keshav Maharaj brought it down to 5 from 1, and a boundary would have had the match continue for another super over. But it just wasn't meant to be. Another wideish delivery from Keshav Maharaj. Gurbaz went after it and he was caught at point, and the Proteas were home.
So near yet so far for Afghanistan. After all this drama, cricket was the real winner. But unfortunate for Afghanistan, they are most likely eliminated from the tournament itself.
Yeah, the table graphics are on your screen now, and as expected, the big teams are at the top. The net run rate will come in really clutch for the second place teams come the end of the group stages. From Group A, it will most likely be India, Pakistan. From Group D, New Zealand and South Africa. If we look at Group B, Sri Lanka, the hosts, are at the top, 2 wins from 2. Zimbabwe, on the other hand, are the surprise show here. They are also 2 from 2, having just defeated Australia. And Australia now look on the brink with their crucial encounter against Sri Lanka, a must-win game for them now.
And special mention to the Italian cricket team after their comprehensive win over Nepal on Thursday. They will surely be hoping for a Super 8 spot. With England's inconsistency and West Indies, you never know how they might turn up on the given day.
Whether or not the Italians qualify for the Super 8s, it will be a memorable World Cup for them.
So now, let's move on to the next week's classes.
The headline clash everyone will be looking forward to will be the India-Pakistan game on the 15th at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. A famously sprint-friendly track with 2 teams consisting probably the best spinners in the tournament. It will be a great battle of form, pressure, history and narrative. Everything. And after this week of near upsets and near misses, who knows what might happen?
Yes, both the teams have really good spinners, Varun Chakravarti and Kuldeep Yadav. And India will try to play Kuldeep Yadav maybe in place of Arshdeep Singh or Rinku Singh. One of them have to miss out, unfortunately, for making a place for a spinner. For Pakistan, there is Usman Tariq and Abrar Ahmed.
As for the other matches of the week, there are some standout encounters to look forward to. Firstly, on the 14th, it's England versus Scotland at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. On the same day at night, it's New Zealand versus South Africa at the Narendra Modi Stadium. And finally, on Monday the 16th, the co-hosts Sri Lanka take on against Australia.
Yes, these encounters will determine who finishes at what position.
So that's it for our week 1 roundup of the T20 World Cup.
And we will meet you guys after all the group stage match are over to discuss about the Super 8s.
If you've enjoyed this video, smash that like button down below. Let us know your thoughts about the matches this week in the comments down below. If you enjoy our content, consider subscribing to the Glitch Lab YouTube channel. But for now though, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video, and Glitch Lab signing out.